Oh, hi.
Noon.
Hi, I'm Noon. This video should have came out several weeks ago. It didn't due to technical issues, and it took me a little while to try to work myself up to reshoot the entire thing. The original version was almost 38 minutes long, and about 20 minutes of it were missing audio because they did a signal, one of those alert test things. And I didn't realize it at the time, but it completely neutralized the audio recording on my phone. So it took some time to kind of work myself up to do this whole thing all over again. So we're going to be doing a Chinese liquor today. And with it being a Chinese liquor, there needs to be a sort of a disclaimer. I'm going to mispronounce a lot of words. I'm going to try my best based on what it looks like. But I can't promise anything, and
我不知道，我不会说中国话。I don't know. I don't speak Chinese.
So, we're going to be doing Baijiu, I believe is how it's meant to be pronounced, at least in one dialect, if the internet is to be believed. My friend, who may be adding subtitles to this video at some point, speaks one dialect, and then there's like 48 or something other dialects in China, and I know none of them. So, but I have found that at least one pronunciation, the pronunciation I was being taught in the lead up to making this video, is nearly impossible for me to actually say without, according to the individual who was teaching me, saying something completely out of pocket. So I'm not going to even try. I'll just keep going with Baijiu. And if I say Baijiu, that's because that's how I assumed it was pronounced when I saw the word written. So again, I apologize in advance. So Baijiu. This one specifically is called Blue Flower. And it is from Lao Baigan. I don't know how you pronounce it. Again, Lao Baigan, the Hebei province in China. In China, they've been making this stuff longer than most of the modern idea of religion has existed. It's older than Judaism. We're talking 5,000, 6,000 years old for Baijiu production. What is it, and why is it so unpopular in the West? Well, it's made from sorghum flour, and it's made in a really old school manner. Now, there are four different basic styles, and it's sort of like a directional thing. The northern provinces tend to favor lighter, sweeter, more delicate flavors. That's where this one is from. So it's called a light aroma. Then there's like deeper, more pungent aromas. There's four basics: light aroma. I think there's light aroma, dark aroma, salsa aroma, and rice aroma. But I may be misremembering. Again, there was a lot of factoids that may not make it into this video correctly because I've already did this once. So the underneath those four primary styles, there's a list. I think somebody online said there's actually closer to like 35 individual styles of Baijiu, and a lot of them use different combinations of grains, different fermentation starters. Some of them don't even they ferment in different ways, and it lends itself to different products. Some of them even have differences in how much cleaning is done in the actual fermentation vats. Some do very little, some clean them every time. Regardless. So it's made of sorghum. At least this one is 100% sorghum. Yes, this one is 100%. And the sorghum is mixed with something they call, I want to say it's pronounced chew. That's not going to be 100% correct, but it's basically a mixture of bacteria and yeast and something else, and it's mixed in with the sorghum, and it's left out to sort of kind of mold over. And it sounds gross until you realize that that's basically how fermentation always goes. But what they've done is they dig out these massive pits. And I say massive in the context of it being a big hole in the ground. Some of them are lined with metal, some of them are lined with clay, some of them are literally just like mud pits. And they throw all the fermenting material into that, and then from there, after a certain amount of time, it's taken and then distilled, and then you get Baijiu. Now, it's, to me, I've only ever had two styles. I've had the light aroma, and I had an example of sauce aroma, and I liked both for radically different reasons. I can't remember what the name of the sauce aroma was. It came in a great looking clay, dark gray clay pot with a metal collar that held the cap on. Cool stuff, packaged excellently. But I gave it away as a gift to someone who liked it more than me and I would never see again. So the only one I have left is my light aroma. Now, whenever I've poured samples of this out for friends of mine, they always react as if I pulled some lethal weapon and pointed it at them when they take a taste. And it surprises me, but there's no amount of preparation I can give you in advance to make you not pull a face the first time you try any of them. And when I first tried this one, I bought it on a whim. When I first tried this one, I did not like it. I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't prepared for it, and it hit me like a freight train. It is only 40%, but it's not the alcohol content that did it. It's the intensity of the flavors, because it's unlike anything else that's on the shelf. Compared to a whiskey, you're way out of your depth. Compared to a vodka, you're not even in the same ballpark. The closest I could think of would be a gin, but we're talking if you like gins, you're in the same kind of ballpark, but we're playing a different sport. It's too different to be compared to a gin. There's nothing, if you drink this thinking of sake, you are going to drown, because this is just so different, and there's no amount of preparation that I can give you that's going to make this feel suitable for the average person. But I know this is considered rude, but you can hear I have drank a good bit of this, and I've enjoyed it. It grew on me rather quickly. I even worked with a couple of experiments trying to get like a cocktail down for this, and that kind of worked, but I'm not married to it, so I'm still like working on it just here and there whenever I find certain ingredients that I think may play with the flavor profile. Baijiu is traditionally served in these little tiny glasses. They drink very small amounts. I want to say it's about a quarter to a half ounce in each one. I did attempt for this video to source some, but the closest I could find was like a 20 pack of all these little glasses. And they were all branded for Maltai, which I believe is how you pronounce it, Maltai. But I figured it would be in poor taste to have one brand's glass with another brand's product. I don't know if that would be considered rude or disrespectful, so I'm keeping it with my just regular whiskey glasses. That way nobody gets their feelings hurt. So without further ado, I've done like 5 takes for this so far, so if I repeat myself, bear with me. But this is from the Lao Baigan, if you can see that, right here. Lao Baigan Distillery in the Hebei province. And again, if I mispronounce that, I apologize. It's a fantastic looking bottle, isn't it? I mean, that's what caught my eye was how good that bottle looked. And this one has a little collar thing on it as well, but it's just decorative. It's part of the bottle, doesn't come off. The other one, it actually like worked, so I thought that was curious. Without further ado, it does have a pour limiter, little plastic plug on there. I wonder if that's something that, because I've seen it a lot in import brands, but I've never seen it on a domestic, except for those fucking things back there. So I wonder what that's about. I wonder if that's like an import regulation thing, or if some state requires it so everybody does it. But in any case, we're going to be pouring. Originally, I was going to do the gin video today, but I couldn't get my palate to comply. In these videos, a little behind the scenes thing, and I'm going to let slip now. Oftentimes, if it's a bottle I've already opened, what I will do to test my palate is I will pour just a small amount and let myself taste it and sit here for a good few minutes while I'm trying to psych myself up to turn on this camera. And if my palate isn't letting me pick out any flavor or let me work with it, I have to shelve the video. Gin, I have 2 different gins. I was going to do both in one video, and my palate was just not letting me do it. In videos where the bottle has been unopened, I will take something like the vodka video, the Meili vodka. But before opening it, I tasted another vodka I have up there that is open to see if my palate was would let me go. So, and considering it's like 8:30 in the morning right now, there's a whole lot of drinking involved in this that you don't see. But anyway, yeah, there is in the aromas, or the actual aroma from the drink, not the categories for the drink. There is an undercurrent of the ethanol, but it is underneath. Above that, there is a lot of like sweetness, but it's not. It's honey adjacent. It's almost like a syrup. There's and I don't know what sorghum smells like or tastes like. I know it's associated with animal feed. So what I have to do when I'm giving my notes for this is I have to do it similar to a wine or a whiskey, which is I'm picking out individual scents and tastes and then giving them to you. But I'm not, again, if I just said it smells like sorghum, there's like 99% of the people who watch this video will be like, well, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know, and you don't either, so we're running with it. There's a chocolate note in it that is always kind of strange. When I tried to explain this to a friend who does know what Baijiu is, I tried to explain that it has chocolate characteristics, and she was perplexed. But I think that this is from a different style than the one she associates it with. And it's herbal, it's sweet, it's hard to discern. There's a cherry note, there's a chocolate note. It has a very creamy smell to it, and that will make an appearance on the palate as well. Just a really small sip, just to kind of get my palate restarted, because of while I've been sitting here doing so many takes so far, my mouth is kind of numbed a little bit. It's also extremely hot in here, so and I have to wear this costume to be willing to do the video at all, so it makes things very all I got off of that little sip was like just ethanol. I didn't really get a whole lot of taste off of that. No, this is like a mint. Like, yeah, definitely like a mint, like a menthol sort of effect across the tongue, not a whole lot of burn, just a very herbal taste. So, something that a lot of folks that I've poured this for in the past have all disliked substantially is something that I actually really enjoy. It has this sort of gaseousness to it. And that's a strange word to use, but it feels like as it hits your tongue, it sort of evaporates and fills your entire mouth. So you can taste it on the very top of your palate, the sides of your mouth, like the insides of your cheeks, your tongue, everywhere. You taste it everywhere. And even if you drink water afterwards, you can still taste it. And a lot of folks don't like that. Now, flavors. Very herbal. There's a lot of mint in that. Some hay. It's got like it's got a savoriness to it. But my favorite note that's in this is very strange because it tastes like a really cheap chocolate cherry cordial, if you know what that is. If you've ever been to a dollar store and you saw a little red box that says Queen Anne's cherry cordials, that will taste like this in solid form for the most part. I mean, of course, there's other notes in that, the mint and everything else, but it has a creaminess. The cherry is very, very, very artificial tasting. Like a maraschino cherry would be, or I know it's maraschino or whatever, but I don't pronounce anything correctly on this channel. But it's got a lot of complexity. The more you really sit and analyze it. The flavor, though, it typically scares some people off. It doesn't have a whole lot of burn. It does warm though, like it doesn't burn in your mouth. It doesn't burn in your throat like a whiskey does. But once it hits your stomach, heat, you feel it in your upper body, and like I know it's hot here already, but drinking that I feel like it just went up 10 degrees, and that's only a little bit. Very, very popular in the winter. They drink these little small glasses of it, big groups, very social, and it makes sense that it makes you feel warmer than it really is, especially northern provinces. They're on the border with Mongolia and Russia, and of course it gets cool up there. But I've really enjoyed this, and it's bracing. A lot of people don't enjoy that terribly much. Again, the heat in here is killing me. It's the middle of summer. I live in a desert, and I have to turn my AC and fans off, otherwise it interferes with the audio. So just know that every time you see me recording one of these videos, I am suffering for the content, and it only gets like 20 views. So I'm doing this because of, what do they say? Doing it for the love of the game. So. It has a tingle like rye. Yeah. So across, like from the very tip of your tongue all the way back, it has this like tingling sensation. And that mint effect sort of hovers in the upper parts of your mouth, while the rye kind of tingling. If you're a rye drinker, you know what I'm talking about. There's a tingle that hits the sides of your tongue and the tip. So it kind of feels like a vibration almost down your tongue, and then a sort of cooling mint sensation on the top. And I think that helps mitigate that burning sensation of the alcohol itself. 40% is actually pretty low ABV for Baijiu as far as I could find. I saw some that were like 60%. A common thing here in the States is that this bottle here, I want to say, interesting also to note, this is one of the only alcohols I've ever bought where it has you're not gonna be able to see it, I don't think, But up here it says that this was produced in 2020. I think I bought this in 2022, 23. Or no, or did I get it when I first got here? So it's been a couple of years since I bought this. But in any case, this bottle was about $80, I think. And what's crazy about that is when you research the spirit like I did, people inside of mainland China talk about how there's $1 bottles and $1,000 bottles, and the taste is basically identical. It's just a matter of who you're trying to impress. For this one, I want to say that it's considered like a mid-premium tier in China, for its category at least. And the expense of this in America does not help it gain popularity, because of people. One, in the United States, people already have grievances with China, just like as a matter of course because of politics. But in addition to that, you're buying an unknown spirit, an unknown category from a country that a lot of people don't associate with high quality, and then they taste it and they get hit in the face with this grain that they've never even heard of, and they don't like it, and the popularity goes down. If this was $20, this would probably be empty, and I'd probably already have moved on to another one, because I actually really like it. But like, I think Maotai is $115, and I think in mainland China it's the equivalent of like $15 or something. And I don't know if this is because of import costs and taxes and everything else, or what, but it's going to be maligned here in the States until one of those things is fixed. And it's unfortunate, because of, I think that this is to, again, it's not, there is a version of this made with rice, but a lot of people they sake is kind of like the sake and soju, and don't even bother with shochu is like Japanese version of vodka. I have a bottle of it too. I fucking hate it. I'll do a review of that sometime. That way everybody can watch me suffer for once, instead of, because I've enjoyed too many things in a row. But the it's got characteristics more in line with Scotch. It's not like Scotch, but it has characteristics that make it like a Scotch, in that there are like gatekeeper brands, and people hit those and they get filtered. They don't go any further. And in the United States, it's just too much money to be invested in something that is completely unknown. And good luck scheduling like a Baijiu tasting ceremony or something here in the States, outside of like San Francisco or New York City, something along those lines. In any case, it's also like a saltiness. And I hadn't actually really noticed that before, but it kind of rides in with that tingling rye sensation. Again, there's a lot going on, and that's considered one of the light aroma, easy to drink, delicate ones. Some apple, some kind of melon. There's like citric qualities, there's floral qualities, there's that honey note, the chocolate, the cherry. Again, there's a lot going on. And I think these were aged for like 5 years as a standard. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but I would love to see, this is a strange statement to make, I would love to see what would happen if you took, that may be something I need to do myself, buy another bottle of this in one of those small American oak barrels for people aging small batch stuff, and just age this in oak for 2 or 3 years. Bit of a cultural clash. I wonder how that would turn out. That might be something worth doing. I would need additional finances to pull that off. But in any case, this has been the Baijiu review.